If you want to know just how stupid and evil and insane the people who control the communications superhighways really are, just look at their hate speech policies. Or, more importantly, look at how they apply their hate speech policies, because this is going to give you a glimpse into their twisted minds and their twisted souls. The YouTube Trust and Safety Team currently understands the rules of the platform as follows. Muslims are a protected group. Christians, atheists, and ex-Muslims are not. Since Muslims are a protected group, anything that could potentially offend them is hate speech. Christians, atheists, and ex-Muslims are not protected groups, and therefore Muslims can say whatever they want about them. Muslims are even free to threaten them with death. I kid you not. Let's begin with a now famous clip of Ali Dawah telling ex-Muslims that once Muslims rise to power, ex-Muslims will be exterminated.
This is a part of our religion. There's a reason to it. Yeah? There's a reason why there's a capital punishment. Because people like you, little weaklings, who leave their religion and cause corruption in the land by spreading it, the capital punishment in Islamic law would be applied to you. We have no doubt. And we're proud of that. Yeah? Capital punishment will be applied in an Islamic state. Yeah? Not individuals going and doing it themselves like idiots. Yeah? No. Under an emir, it is done. Yes. And we, you know what? We'll be watching.
Why will apostates be executed? Because the rights of the community take precedence over the rights of an individual.
We'll be watching. Because if you're going to cause corruption in the land, that's going to cause more damage to the society as a whole. Because the Sharia didn't come to protect an individual's right. Hey, can I drink alcohol? Yeah, sure. Drink alcohol, run someone over, kill them, set all this kind of chaos. No, Islam says the right of the community is greater than you individual wanting your right to freedom, which is BS. Absolutely BS. Yeah?
So, if Ali Dawah wins and he converts enough people to Islam and he establishes an Islamic society, the ex-Muslim population will be exterminated by the government while Ali Dawah and his friends are watching.
The capital punishment in Islamic law would be applied to you. We have no doubt. And we're proud of that. Under an emir, it is done. Yes. And we, you know what? We'll be watching.
Not too long ago, the Apostateprophet was tweeting about how YouTube allows Ali Dawah to promote the death penalty for apostates on its platform. YouTube then sent AP a message asking him for the video. The YouTube Trust and Safety Team eventually explained their decision to allow Ali Dawah to continue promoting the death penalty for apostates. Update. After carefully reviewing the video, our team has confirmed that it doesn't violate our community guidelines, and therefore we will not be enforcing any actions on it. We encourage users to share their opinions on a wide range of different topics, but there's a line between passionate debate and malicious harassment. We understand the value of free expression and take great care when we enforce our policies. We'll take down content that diverts into threats or harassment when flagged, but not all negative videos or comments will be removed. Hope this helps clarify. Oh, it helps clarify, all right. So, if a Muslim says, we're going to keep converting people to Islam until we establish an Islamic society, and once we establish our Islamic society, all of you ex-Muslims are going to be executed, that's simply passionate debate and free expression, according to the YouTube Trust and Safety Team. Now, for the record, I don't want Ali Dawah banned for saying things like this. I think it's great that he's admitting that Muhammad ordered his followers to execute anyone who leaves Islam. But we can't ignore the hypocrisy here. If someone posted a video on YouTube saying, once my political party rises to power in such and such country, we're going to gather all Muslims together and execute them. How long would that video be on YouTube? Would the YouTube Trust and Safety Team consider that passionate debate? Of course not. So why does YouTube allow people to promote the death penalty for ex-Muslims, but not for Muslims? It's simple, really. Muslims are classified as a protected group, or a marginalized group by the YouTube Trust and Safety Team. Non-Muslims aren't. And when you see how YouTube protects its protected group, you'll realize that membership has its privileges. Since YouTube won't ban Muslims for calling for the public executions of apostates, let's see what YouTube will ban people for doing. Hi, Acts 17 Apologetics. Our team has reviewed your content, and unfortunately, we think it violates our hate speech policy. We've removed the following content from YouTube. Video: Islam's free speech hypocrisy. You can watch this video on my BitChute channel. The link is in the description box. In the video, I quote some Muslim leaders who are demanding a ban on speech that offends Muslims. I then go on to point out that there's a lot of speech in Islam's most trusted sources that's offensive to non-Muslims. I then tell Muslims that if they want to ban offensive speech, they'll need to ban their own book. But if they don't want to ban their own book, they shouldn't be calling for a ban on offensive speech. According to YouTube, exposing hypocrisy is hate speech. It's not passionate debate. It's not free expression. It's hate speech. We know that this might be disappointing, but it's important to us that YouTube is a safe place for all. But not for ex-Muslims, am I right? If content breaks our rules, we remove it. If you think we've made a mistake, you can appeal and we'll take another look. Keep reading for more details. How your content violated the policy. Content glorifying or inciting violence against another person or group of people is not allowed on YouTube. Anyone ever seen or heard me glorify or incite violence against anyone? We also don't allow any content that encourages hatred of another person or group of people based on their membership in a protected group. Anyone ever heard me encourage hatred of anyone? But notice this mysterious protected group the Trust and Safety Team refers to. The protected group is Muslims. According to YouTube, Muslims, who make up nearly a quarter of the world's population, are a protected group. Ex-Muslims are not a protected group, even though they're under an Islamic death sentence, and YouTube knows they're under an Islamic death sentence because YouTube defends and protects videos by Muslim preachers promoting the death penalty for ex-Muslims. Christians are not a protected group. Atheists are not a protected group. But Muslims are a protected group. They're so incredibly protected that if you simply point out the blatant hypocrisy in some demands certain Muslim leaders are making, YouTube will ban you for hate speech. Now, last time I checked, calling out hypocrisy isn't hate speech. Our world is in a lot of trouble if we can't call out hypocrisy when we see it. So, what possible basis could there be for labeling my video hate speech? Unfortunately, the Trust and Safety Team is terrible at explaining their reasoning, probably because if they did explain their reasoning, we would expose them even more. But I think there's a clue in the guidelines on monetization. When you try to monetize a video, you have to check a box declaring that your video does not contain hateful content. But look at how hateful content is defined by the YouTube Trust and Safety Team. It's defined as content likely to offend a marginalized individual or group. So, your speech is hateful, not based on your intentions or even based on the content of your speech. Your speech is hateful based on the reaction of one of YouTube's protected or marginalized groups. If someone from the protected group is likely to be offended by your speech, then your speech is hate speech, regardless of whether you've ever hated anyone in your entire life. I think we can see why YouTube labels so many of my videos hate speech. If a Muslim says, offensive speech should be banned, and I reply, but there's offensive speech in the Quran, does that have anything to do with me hating the Muslim? Of course not. Is it something that could offend the Muslim? Yes, it is. Well then, it's hate speech, according to the geniuses who control what can and cannot be said on one of the world's biggest platforms. Here's another. Hi, Act 17 Apologetics. Our team has reviewed your content, and unfortunately, we think it violates our hate speech policy. We've removed the following content from YouTube. Video, The Religion of Peace Polka, featuring keyboard jihadis. In that video, all I did was post my responses to some comments from keyboard jihadis who were threatening to kill me or promoting violence against Christians. My responses were totally peaceful. I didn't even speak. The video was just screenshots of threats and my responses. As an example, Soldier of Allah says, "The only good Christian is a dead Christian." I reply, "No such thing as a dead Christian. Jesus said, 'I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live, even if he dies, and everyone who lives and believes in me will never die.'" If anyone is guilty of hate speech here, is it me? Well, that depends on what you mean by hate speech. If hate speech is speech that calls for violence against a person based on membership in some group, then Soldier of Allah is guilty of hate speech against Christians. But if you define hate speech as speech that might offend a member of a marginalized group, and every Muslim in the world is a member of a marginalized group, well then, Soldier of Allah is the victim, and I'm the offender who offended him. And this never stops. In my video, Top 10 Quran Verses for Understanding ISIS, all I did was list the Quran verses that ISIS used to justify the things they were doing. According to YouTube, my video was hate speech, even though the only group I talked about in the video was ISIS. Apparently, even ISIS jihadis qualify as a protected group. In my video, Prophet Muhammad Solves Coronavirus, I made fun of some of Muhammad's stupid claims. Making fun of someone's stupid claims wouldn't normally constitute hate speech, but what is YouTube's definition of hate speech? Something likely to offend a member of a protected or marginalized group. Could a Muslim be offended because I made fun of Muhammad? Absolutely. Hence, my video was banned as hate speech. My video, Did Muhammad Exist? Robert Spencer and David Wood versus Anjem Choudhury and Omar Bakri, was a debate between two Christians and two Muslims. But some of our points about Muhammad must have been offensive to Muslims because the video was banned as hate speech. My video, Tommy Robinson Found Guilty, Robert Spencer and David Wood Live, was just me and Robert Spencer discussing the British government sending Tommy Robinson to prison for reporting on Muslim grooming gangs. Is that hate speech? Not in any sane world. Could a discussion of Muslim grooming gangs offend certain Muslims? Yep, so it's hate speech. I can't even condemn honor killings on YouTube. My video, Honor Killings in Islam, is an interview with the friend of a girl who was killed in an honor killing. Is it hate speech to condemn honor killings? No. Could it offend certain Muslims? Yes. Well then, it's hate speech. Ladies and gentlemen, some of the sickest people on the planet are working for the trust and safety teams of the world's biggest social media platforms. And they get paid to control what you say in order to ultimately control what everyone thinks. Someone like me can't survive forever on one of these platforms. That's why I left Facebook. That's why I left Twitter. I don't think I'll leave YouTube until they kick me off. But let's face it, that's just a matter of time. Could be tomorrow, could be 6 months from now. I suspect they'll demonetize my channel first as some sort of warning, especially since I'm going to start poking at them more regularly. That won't work, so they'll just give me a bunch of hate speech strikes, one after another, and ban my channel. When that happens, you can, of course, complain to YouTube and help expose these lunatics, but apart from that, don't get too upset. There are people in the world who have much bigger things to worry about than getting banned from a stupid social media platform. I have bigger things to worry about than getting banned from YouTube. Sometimes I wish these cowards would just ban me and get it over with so I can get to work on whatever comes next. Now, the positive side of my recent video bans is that I have been paying a bit more attention to backup plans. My videos are now being posted on BitChute, Minds, and Library. The links to those channels are in the description box. I'm also having a website made. It'll be act17.com. I've had a couple of websites for a while, but they're blogs, and I haven't been using them much. I've got a company making my new site, and I'm having them add a page where you can enter your email address if you'd like to receive updates on whatever might happen. After that is set up, the same company is going to get me set up on Discord. So whatever happens, we'll keep moving forward. As always, everyone is free to download any of my videos and to re-upload them to your own channels for safekeeping. And once I'm banned from YouTube, feel free to download my videos from other platforms and put them on your YouTube channel. Never forget that the people who wield power on these platforms are a bunch of sniveling losers and wannabe tyrants who don't have enough life experience to know how pathetic they are. We're smarter than them, we're better than them, and we're more relentless than them. And that means they will eventually lose, because that's what losers do.